How many people have had a time in their life when they were so stressed out they became physically ill? I know I have. Last year around this time, I went through a very stressful period of my life, so much so that it started to affect my health. Confused and not really sure what was happening, it caused me to do extensive research on the effects of stress and how to handle it. Today I'm going to spend some time discussing the harmful effects stress can have on your physical well-being. In particular, I will discuss some ways to identify your stressors and how to manage the stress in your life. First, let's start by defining stress and identifying some stressors that you may experience in your day-to-day life. One definition provided by the Merriam-Webster's dictionary is a physical, chemical, or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension and may be a factor in disease causation. Put simply, stress is your body's reaction to the demands of the world. Stressors are events or conditions in your surroundings that may trigger the stress. Stress can be caused by numerous things or events: job, money, school, deadlines, family, relationships, and the list can go on and on. The truth of the matter is we are all different, and what is stressful to one person may be something very minor to another. We all handle stress differently based on our personalities and how we respond to certain situations. For example, public speaking is not the most comfortable thing for me to do, but it's not something I easily stress over. To another person, however, public speaking is a big fear and can cause a lot of emotional stress. How can you determine what stressors are more likely to affect you personally? According to the Mayo Clinic, effective stress management starts with identifying your sources of stress and then developing strategies to manage them. They list a couple of different ways we can identify our stressors. First, we need to know our body's response. Our body tends to send us signals when we are under stress. Our hearts can beat fast, we may start to sweat or breathe very heavily. Second, our words help signify when we are under stress. Have you ever said, "My heart is beating out of my chest," or "My blood is boiling"? By saying these things, you're telling yourself you are under stress. Lastly, keep a stress awareness journal. By jotting down in a journal the times where you've said, "My blood is boiling," or you felt your heart beat very fast, you can begin to identify the situations that made you feel that way and then identify your stress triggers. Recognizing a problem is the first step towards solving it. By taking the time to identify and understand the sources of your stress, you've taken the first steps to better managing it. Now that I've given you some ways to identify your stressors and how harmful stress can be to your health, let's discuss how harmful stress can be to your health if left unmanaged. As I said earlier, stress is the body's reaction to the demands of the world. Stress is a normal part of our day-to-day life. When you feel threatened, your nervous system responds by releasing a flood of stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol, which prepare the body for emergency action. This is your body's way of protecting you. When working properly, stress can help you stay focused, energetic, and alert, and in emergency situations, it can even save your life. This type of stress is called acute stress. Most of the time, your body recovers quickly from acute stress, and it is not harmful to your health. Chronic stress, however, is caused by stressful situations or events that last over a long period of time. Our bodies are not meant to be in a state of chronic stress. This can be harmful not only to our body, but our mood and behavior as well. The Mayo Clinic lists some ways stress can affect our body, mood, and behavior. First, in our body, we can have a headache, muscle tension, chest pain, fatigue, stomach upset, sleep problems, and it can even aid in hair loss and skin issues. Stress can affect our mood by causing anxiety, restlessness, lack of motivation, irritability, anger, and it can even lead to depression. In our behavior, stress can cause us to overeat, undereat, angry outbursts, drug and alcohol abuse, and social withdrawal. In more drastic cases, stress can cause high blood pressure, heart disease, and even obesity. Now that we have briefly discussed how harmful excessive amounts of stress can be to our overall health, let's discuss ways to manage our stress. WebMD has published the following helpful tips to help us manage our stress. Ask yourself what you can do about the sources of your stress. Think through the pros and the cons. Keep a positive, realistic attitude. Some things are just out of your control. When you're able to accept that is when you can change how you respond. Practice relaxation techniques, as in meditation, yoga, or Tai Chi. Exercise regularly. Exercising will release endorphins, which will help you feel better. Try to manage your time wisely. Just say no. Sometimes we need to say no when we are feeling overwhelmed. Get enough rest and sleep. Your body will need this time to recover from stressful events. And lastly, spend time with the people you love. There are many different ways to relieve stress, and what works for one person may not work for another. It's best to try some of these suggestions to see which ones you can benefit from. In conclusion, as you can see, if left unmanaged, stress can have very harmful effects to your health. We went over the different types of stress and stressors we can all experience at one point in our life. We discussed how badly excessive stress can affect not only your mental health, but your physical health as well, and the steps we can take to manage our stress effectively. To quote Maureen Killeran, stress is not what happens to us. It is our response to what happened, and response is something we can choose. So the next time you're experiencing stress, relax, take a breath, and remember, nothing is worth making yourself sick over. Thank you.